Hello everyone. Today we are going to take a look at how to conjugate verbs in the gerund and to infinitive in the English language. First off, we're gonna start by learning how to form the gerund. So, to form the gerund, we're going to take a noun. A noun is anything you can do like snowboard, ski, eat, etc. Or a verb, and we're going to add ing to the end. That's how you form the gerund. And when you use the gerund is after certain verbs. For example, enjoy, I enjoy reading. Discuss, we discussed going on a holiday together. Suggest, he suggested staying at the hotel. And avoid, she avoided talking to her boss. Of course, there are many more verbs that you can use to form the gerund, but these are just few. You can also use gerunds instead of a noun. For example, my hobby is snowboarding. Swimming is a very good exercise. So what we're doing here is we're taking a noun and just adding ing to the end, like I said in the example. We can also use the gerund after prepositions. And prepositions are words like after, before, instead of, etc. So, for example, I played video games all night instead of studying. I always brush my teeth after eating. That's how you use the gerund. Now we can take a look at how to form the to plus infinitive. The to plus infinitive is quite easy to form because the name already explains itself. You just write down to and add the infinitive. So for example, to be just becomes to be again. To leave becomes to leave. But it gets a little more difficult when we have to put it in sentences. So when do we use the to plus infinitive? We can use the to plus infinitive after certain verbs, but we have to make sure that the verbs are in the past. So if we use the to plus infinitive in a sentence with decide, it has to be in the past. So for example, we decided to leave. The same with ask. They asked us to be patient. Agree. She agreed to give a presentation at the meeting. You can also use the to plus infinitive after many adjectives. For example, happy. I'm happy to see you. Wrong. They were wrong to spend so much money. Careful. The teacher was careful to speak clearly. You can also use the to infinitive to show purpose to something. So you use it to explain why you do something. For example, I came to London to study. I went to bed early to fix my sleeping schedule. I donated to a charity to help people in need. That's how you form the to plus infinitive. Now that we know when to use the gerund and the to plus infinitive and how to form them, we can get a little more technical. What I mean by that is that depending on the verb, its meaning can have a significant change when conjugated in either the gerund or the to plus infinitive. For example, the verb stop. Stop plus gerund is used when the thing that you stop is the second verb. But if you use stop plus to plus infinitive, it's used when you stop something else in order to do the second verb. So, for example, I stopped working. He stopped smoking. She stopped studying. In all these cases, the person stops doing the verb. But if you use it in the to plus infinitive, you get the following. I stopped to have lunch. This means that the person stopped doing what they were doing before in order to have lunch. But not all verbs drastically change when used in the gerund or to plus infinitive. For example, raining. It started to rain and it started raining. The meaning stays the same. The same goes for working. I continued to work. I continued working. And singing. I began to sing. She began singing. So there's not always a significant difference when using verbs in the gerund or the 2 plus infinitive. To go a little more in depth about the changes that the gerund and the 2 plus infinitive can have on the verb, we can use the verb remember as an example for this. So, for example, if we use remember in the gerund, it's used about memories of the past. If we use it in the 2 plus infinitive, it's used when someone has to remember something that they have to do. For example, used in the gerund, he remembers going to the beach when he was 6. This means he still has the memory in his head and can watch it like a movie so he can remember it, he can think back to it. If we use it in the 2 plus infinitive, we get the following. Please remember to buy milk. This means that the person needs to have thought about milk when he passes the shop. He remembers the thought. He was reminded of it. Another example, we can use the verb lock. I remember locking the door. It's a memory. He can remember himself locking the door. If used in the gerund, you get I remembered to lock the door. So the person is reminded of his need to lock the door, so before he left his house, he locked the door. So now that everything's said and done, let's go over it one more time just so we can remember it for the future. So, the gerund. We form the gerund by using a noun or verb and adding ing to the end. We mostly use it in the present, for example, my hobby is snowboarding, except when there are prepositions in a sentence. For example, I brush my teeth after eating. We form the 2 plus infinitive by writing down to and adding the base verb to it. We mostly use it in the past. We decided to leave, except when there are adjectives in a sentence. We're happy to see you. And one thing you can't forget is that the verb can change drastically depending on if you use it in the gerund or not. And that is how we form the gerund in 2 plus infinitive.